Welcome to 2023 question B3. This was an axonometric projection question. So the image on the right shows an apple green outdoor dining pot. Okay, you can see it here, kind of an cover with a seating area. So in figure B3, it shows an incomplete diametric projection. Okay, so diametric, that means that our angles here and here will be the same using axonometric axis method of a similar dining pot. The elevation and plan are also shown in their required positions. So we've got our elevation and our plan here. A pictorial view of the pot is also shown, which is going to help us to complete what we need to draw. Okay, so we should have a finished product that looks somewhat similar to this. Draw the axonometric axis X, Y, and Z and the isosceles triangle. So we want to draw just this portion here to begin with. So just keep that close by. So I want to draw my vertical axis. Okay, my 115 degrees. Line up my bullseye with the center of the axis, 0.00, and 115. Okay. And the same out in the opposite direction, because it's a diametric projection, meaning two angles are the same. 115. Okay, so that's my X, Y, and Z. And now they want us to draw the isosceles triangle. So we have one side, the base, being 130. So that means we're going to go 65 either side here. 65, 65. Okay, so that's the base or isosceles triangle. Okay, and now we need to draw these opposite sides, and you can see here there's a little symbol saying right angles. Okay, so that's going to help us. So we're going to extend there, and we know it's going to be at right angles to that. So using sliding set squares, I can project down there and join up this axis, or this side of the triangle. Okay, so that is the setup of my isosceles triangle. Draw the elevation and plan in the orientation as shown. Okay, so we need to do our setup here for our plan and our setup to find the correct orientation to begin with. So my plan, I'm going to project down, and bring down our axis as well. Now it doesn't matter how far we come out here, we just want enough space for our plan to fit in. So I would say somewhere around here should do. Okay, drop this down. Okay, now you don't have to bisect this because it's one straight down, but I will just actually no, just say it. I'm going to draw my circle and my semicircle. Okay, and that is going to find the edge view here now of my end vertical plane and edge view of the vertical plane. So that's the setup there. And now I'm going to set up my elevation. So sliding set squares. Mouse about there should do. Okay. And parallel to my axis. There. Alright, and now I need to bisect that so I can find the center for a semicircle. Let's draw that semicircle. So to set up these questions, it's very important to know how to set up an axonometric projection question, because it gets you about a third of the marks, if not a little bit more. Okay, so by the time we have the plan and elevation drawn, we should have about a third of the marks, possibly more. Okay, so we'll start with our elevation. So we've got some heights, and we've got to find the center here of the circular element. So let's step off some of these heights. So we've got 27. And we've got 16 and 16 above that, which is 32. Okay, so let's show those heights. I'll use that in a while. Alright. I now need to draw that circle, which will be in a distance of 50 there, because it's radius 50. So I'll just measure in 50 along that middle 16 line. Set my compass to 50, set to that radius. Okay, I can draw a base. Right, I now need to complete the rest of the kind of seating area, so I have edge running there, and I need to find that top point, so let's run from the center straight up, so parallel to my edge view of the end vertical plane. Check that up. I can draw this little triangle. Should be heavy from here down. Okay, and yep, I can draw the remainder of this. So my seating area and my table. So seating and there. And my table will be this width. And finally, we've got the stand for the table. So extend that down. There's my stand for the table. So that's my elevation completed. Now I need to draw my plan. So flip that over. We've got 78 as the depth. Okay, so 78 deep. Okay, but we don't have width here. Okay, so if you think of our usual elevation plan, that would be my elevation, very rough circle there. My plan width would be the same. Okay, so just because the orientation has changed, the principle is still the same. My width of my shape I can find up here in my elevation. Okay, and transfer it down same way, transfer it there. So the overall width I can get on my compass, which is actually, look, I suppose, we know it's 50. We know it's 50 from there to there, so it'll be 100 total. So I'm actually going to measure that. Okay, and now we need to find all these other widths. Okay, to make life a little bit easier, first I'm going to get the center line for the axis here. So that's going to be at 50, and okay, so that's my axis. And now we can take measurements from the center out to those given distances. So let's start with position here and here for my seating, that top section, which represents there and there. So I can take those distances from the center. So from the center line out, I can mark that off, and the same the opposite side. All right. Okay. Next up, I'll go for the next heavy edge, which represents the width of the table here. Actually, I just noticed I've got my table drawn incorrectly. That should be a vertical distance, so it should be in line with the base of the seats, or the top of the seats. So let's fix that. So there's my table. Okay, so the width of the table, and get here in elevation. Once again, step it off. Okay, I know these lines are 45 degrees, so I'm not going to step it off from both sides. So there it is. Okay, and lastly then, we've got these hidden detail lines. Okay, so I find looking down on top of this, they represent base here of the seat. Okay, so this little area here and here, that edge. Okay, so let's get that distance. I'll step it off from the middle. Those are the hidden detail lines. Let's draw them lightly first. Hidden detail. Okay, so that is my elevation and plan shown in the correct orientation. Part B completed. So you should be like close to half marks, usually third to half marks at this point. So they want us now to complete the diametric projection. So we need to project up and project across. And we should get something like this in the end. So I'll start with this front part. So I'll find the base first of all. Check that up. Base projected up. And we'll project back. Correct orientation. Sliding set squares. Project there. There. I'm going to have a little bit of an overlap here, probably get a little bit too close. There and there. So that's going to give me front edge. All right. Now, we could divide this up 60-30, but I am going to make life a little bit easier for us by splitting this up. We'll go every maybe 15. And how much we need? Yeah. If I go in 15, in 15, yeah, and same on the opposite side. In 15, 15. For a pen. Okay, and I use this then to find points running around the outside of my object. So start here, we've got, okay, there's a point, there, there, there. Okay, so I'll number them off. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so those are all reference points or points of a generator. Okay, so my generator is running like that. It's running along the top of my my cylindrical shape, and I'll be able to find a point and a point on either end. Okay, so we need to find corresponding generators down here. So widths are the same. So what I've done is I've found generators like that there, so I can project down and find that corresponding generator and plan. So because I know that's 15 and 15, I can measure in 15 for each one. And in 15, 15. That's represent the outside ones here as well. Okay, so we have generator 1, 4. Here is 2. And there we've got generator 5. 6 is on the center. 7. We got 8 and 10. And then we've got 9 here. Okay, so I'm going to draw up, just move this up on the screen a little bit. So extend all of these vertically first. I also need 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and I'm going to project down this angle. So 1, projecting down. Here's 1 coming up, so just about there. 2. Four, 5, 6, 6 up, 7, 8, 9, there, we got 10, and down. Okay, and so that's going to give me a curve. Now looking here, I'm actually seeing there's a big kind of distance both there and there. So what I might do is I'm going to find the edges of my seat. So this point on the seat, this point on the seat, so here and here, and there on the outside, because they're additional points that I already have in both views. Okay, I have them here. So I'm going to project them down. See, I labeled one as 3 earlier on. Not to matter. Project them up. So 1 point, second point. So I have additional points there, and again, 1 point. That's second point there. So I've got additional points now for my curve, and I can draw that freehand. Okay, so that's our front part. And now I need to find the curved parts at the back. So I can do the same thing, right? We've got a point view of each one of those generators up here. So they represent the back edge as well. You just need to project up from the back. So project up here, so that's my point 2. I'll use those additional points that I brought down as well, because I'll need them for my curve. And point 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, additional points, 9, and we'll be working our way back down again, so we got point 10 then here. Okay, so freehand curve. Just there. Stay for my part. Back down to this point. Okay, so it's important to follow your lines. So, alright, and let's put in some of those outside lines. Okay, so I've got the basic outline of my object here, so that and that. Right, now we need to put in our seating area. So I'll start with these edges, which I should already have if you follow them down. And here's the other side. I'll join them up. Okay, so it's starting to come together. Right, I'll do the table next, so the tabletop. So let's project the tabletop up vertically. Up vertically. Okay, so a lot of lines starting to come in now, so we need to just be careful that we match up our points accurately and correctly. So here's the table coming back. That's a point. That's a point. Write that down. That's a point. That's a point. So we can draw those in. Okay, so that's the table, and the table stands on this little pole, so I'll draw that pole in. And now we're on to our seating areas. So here's our edge of our seating actually already projected up because it's in line with the table. So I just need to bring down the additional points. So seating brought down to here, seating brought down to here. Show that. Show that. And I already have a point on the curve there that I used for the seating. So okay, that was that point and that point brought down. And we have our base already brought down, so join that. And join that. Okay, and then I just need to show what's left. We've got that line. Show the top of the seat here. So bring my seat back until I have the curve. Okay. I've actually found that point. So that's the height of the seat. Now that it's rolling along there. And we've got, that would be the corner of the seat, so that needs to come down onto the flat. That's there. Okay, and I think we've got everything we need there. Lastly, there's probably a pole supporting. No, I don't actually see it in this drawing, but I might as well draw it. So we got our pole supporting. There's probably a pole support at the back. So that'll be there, and it'll be that'll be there. It'll be vertical member, so straight down like that. Okay, so that is everything. Just always double check our 3D graphic. Got all our points. Oh, and I need to show that line running back in. Just noticed an error on my part again. So that little member in there, I've actually drawn it back. It should be coming to here. Scratch that out. Okay, so that's my solution there. It's a 2023 axonometric axis question.